Welcome, everyone. It's Matthew Ray Scott, co-developer, co-evangelist at Virtual Sales RX, and welcome to today's webinar, where I'll share with you how I average a 75% personalized video watch rate for the past 4 years. Do me a favor, drop in the comments section, in the chat section, where you're located at. So today I'm in God's Green Acre, Northwest Arkansas. It's supposed to reach 105 degrees today. So some of you I know are impacted by the Canadian fires and certainly the intensity of, the heat wave that's going through here. So I hope you're watching this from an air-conditioned location because I'm going to add tons of value. Now, if you hang with me till the end, I will share with you our new Virtual Sales RX scholarship grant. Here is why it's so practical and applicable. If there was ever a time where you were curious to introduce a struggling buddy, sales rep, or introduce your boss to how personalized videos can complement, even transform the modern day sales process, this webinar is for you, hands down. And at the end of today, after I provide some value for you, I'll share that scholarship grant. And in full transparency, because you're able to gift a buddy or gift a boss complimentary training, which includes me being your personalized video coach, as you might expect, we're going to offer it for a limited time offer because we'll have a lot of people sign up and want to be a part of that. So let me proceed with sharing some value here on the exact tips and strategy that I recommend on how I've averaged a 75% personalized video watch rate for the past 4 years. All right, let's look at the stats. So as you can tell from my statistics here, this is as of last night. I want to say it was about 8 p.m. that I took this stat from my Vidyard video statistics. Check it out. 74.9% watch rate over a span of 4 years. Personalized video has worked so well for me, and it can do the same for you, but you need to know the process. There will be people on this call who are curious about using personalized videos. You're interested in it. You're going to grab your phone and you're going to take the native camera app and you're going to press record. And it's going to be crickets. It's because you don't know the steps, the process, the communication framework. Once you learn what we teach at Virtual Sales RX, you will have a system and a framework, and you now will become virtual and time shifted. You will become profitable when you understand how to communicate customer-centric value props and problem-solving communication. Once you understand what we teach you about the concept of narrative transportation, you are going to increase engagement and ultimately you'll increase sales. All right, so do me a favor. I'm getting ready to share my 20 tips, my 20 strategies in the chat section if you're with me. If you have any questions as I go along, I'll be able to view them. Go ahead and put it in the chat section, and that way you will have an opportunity to have me answer those questions for you and help. We are going to maximize time here. It's 10:04 Central Standard Time. We're going to knock this out. You'll be back doing what you're doing by 10:30 a.m. Okay? All right, let's get started here. Here's my top 20 list of my strategic planning and tips. Number one, know your audience. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're probably saying right now, Well, Matthew, that's not earth-shattering. That's a no-brainer. Of course, I know my audience. And I would say simmer down, Gunpowder. I would say don't be so certain. Let me share with you. When we created Medical Sales RX, we originally approached vice president of sales in the medtech space. That's a logical point of contact, right? Medical sales leaders are ultimately responsible for increasing sales and developing profitable sales processes. Would you believe me if I told you that in 4 years, less than 5 MedTech VP of sales have ever contacted me or even responded to my direct outreach? We're averaging about a 2% engagement rate with MedTech VP of sales. But when we go directly to provide help to modern day salespeople on the front lines who realize that their old school boss's speech of just make more sales calls, just make more meetings, wait till new technology comes out, then we've got them. Drop off brochures to glory of the gatekeeper, that we're averaging around an 80% engagement rate. So that's my example. Who I thought would be our ideal client is indifferent to what we do. My second of 20 tips is video length matters. You will never catch me leaving a personalized video for my ideal client that lasts over 3 minutes. It'll not happen. It doesn't exist. Rather, I tap into the attention span of the busy modern person. Think of yourself as a consumer. Do you have endless time to read text-based emails? Of course you don't. Yet that doesn't stop us from making the cardinal sin of doing that. Do you have any more time to listen to a lengthy video? The answer is no. So video length matters. In fact, when you join Virtual Sales RX or you join our Virtual Sales RX monthly video swipe file community, I think you're in for a surprise. I think you're going to be shocked when you hear someone like me or one of our Virtual Sales RX agency coaches say that our typical cold outreach personalized video lasts less than 30 seconds. How about that? So what I had to learn how to do is to reframe how I communicate via personalized video, understand the sensitivity of whom I'm sending this to, and what has the highest engagement. So in that 30-second cold outreach, in that 1-minute follow-up or demo, I can see it statistically in increased engagement compared to you going Tolstoy and War and Peace. No one's going to listen to that video in the same way that nobody's going to read your fat paragraph email. Tip number 3, become a storyteller. You know, I came from medical sales. Medical sales is built on the foundation of hashtag persistence, hashtag hustle, hashtag keeper of the flag. Just hunker down, prevent the competition from invading or raiding your territory in the operating room, and just get as much access as you can to busy doctors. And I say to you, if you're watching me, how is that working for you now? So you must become a storyteller, even though most of us as professional salespeople have not been taught. I recommend Donald Miller Story Brand. I recommend Nicholas Cole and Dickie Bush at Ship 30 for 30. You must become a storyteller and understand the narrative transportation framework of what does a good story sound like in 1 minute or 2 minute. And we teach that at Virtual Sales RX. Tip number 4, I do batch recordings. I think it's surprising to a lot of people that typically Saturday at 10 a.m., because that's the best I'll ever be, Saturday at 10 a.m., I'll come into this studio office. I'll dress in adult clothing. I'll actually comb the hair. I'll wipe down the beard and I'll record 20, 30, sometimes even 40 videos. Many of them are evergreen videos. When you take Virtual Sales RX, you'll learn the concept of evergreen videos. And then most of them are me announcing and addressing you with respect by name and sending you a value-based video, not being desperate to sell, rather emphasizing being generous in the share. Tip number 5, video thumbnails matter. Let me ask you a question. Do you cruise around on YouTube? That's a loaded question. I agree. I gotta take a sip of coffee here because I know that's a loaded question. Have you noticed when you go to YouTube that we are attracted by the thumbnail? The thumbnail is that little square patch of visual real estate that either causes us to go, yeah, I'm going to scan that. Well, we use a $19 a month software, and in our course, we will teach you how to use animated thumbnails or custom thumbnails to punch people in the amygdala and to be able to draw attention. Okay? All right. So let me know if any of these ideas that I'm giving you in the chat section are helpful so far, or if you need more explanation at the end. All right. We're on to my top 20 list. We're on to number 6, personalized content. One of the reasons why you and I use personalized video, and there's a reason why it's called personalized video, is we make it all about the other person. In fact, most of us make the mistake that we are the hero. Read Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey per becoming an expert storyteller. We try to be the hero, or our product tries to be the hero in the narrative, and that's a mistake. You and I are a trusted guide who has a product or service that provides a solution that the person in pain accepts because they trust us. And so you and I create personalized content. In fact, at Virtual Sales RX, we have a video swipe file of every single sales situation you will find yourself in. And what that means is that we've done the heavy lifting of how to frame a 1-minute personalized video that draws attention. All right, timing. Now, when you hear me think, or when you hear me talk about timing, you may think again, well, how's that different than the length of the video? Well, timing is important. Check this out. I send 7 personalized videos to 7 different people that I want to help before 7:01 a.m. Yeah. Now, why do I do that? Well, it's a ritual, a morning ritual. Would you believe me if I told you that that morning ritual of me 6 days a week, I don't care if I've got a 6 a.m. flight, I do my morning ritual of sending those 7 personalized videos to 7 different people before 7:01 a.m. What are the odds that by me doing that 6 days a week, that my schedule is booked solid? I don't have a big variance between big highs and dramatic lows in trying to get appointments. And then what do you think? Do you think I'm going to stand out in that busy prospect's email inbox or LinkedIn direct message? Do you think that this majestically bearded hillbilly is going to stand out as quote unquote different? The answer is yes. And that's why timing is a big deal. When I'm prospecting, I'm talking prospecting, not account management, I send it out before 7:01 a.m. and after 7:01 p.m. It works great. Most people don't take my advice because they think they are intruding on the personal time of their prospect. That's the idea. Earn attention. My next tip is the concept of evergreen content. If you're not familiar with evergreen content, it just simply means it's a piece of content in which you provide over and over and over again as it aligns with your product or service. So think of this as frequently asked questions. Personalized video is wonderful to record those frequently asked questions that you can send to anybody at any time from anywhere. So imagine how much time you spend on virtually live or live going back and answering people's frequently asked questions. What if you recorded it once and you could send it to anyone at any time? That's what I mean by evergreen content. All right. Out of my top 20 list, we are on number 10. And I call this one contrarian call to actions. My call to actions are contrarian. When you take Virtual Sales RX, you're getting ready to go, wait a minute. Matthew, or one of my Virtual Sales RX coaches, said, never verbally ask for an appointment. That is heresy. That is voodoo magic. How will the other person that I'm sending this to know that I want to meet with them? Now, you know I'm being a bit facetious there. The gig is up. They know you and I have something to sell. They are not confused that you and I sell for a living. So, what I've learned to do is to ask contrarian call to actions, such as, is this worth a chat? Are you open to discussing this? Asking to gauge your priority in what I shared. Those are my contrarian call to actions, and they work super, super well. All right, we are on, as far as the top 20 list, we are on point number 15, and that is analyze metrics. If you are a sales rep or a professional sales leader and you're watching me right now, I got a challenge for you. Do you know the analytics of every single prospecting or sales call or sales touch point from your team? Most sales leaders, certainly most sales reps, do not know how to analyze metrics. Built into the system we use, a whopping $19 a month, we have built-in data metrics. This morning, before I jumped on this call, I previewed what my data metrics were. I showed you a slide that shared how in over 25,000 personalized videos, I'm averaging a 75% attention rate. In fact, I sent personalized videos last night. I can tell you the second that they opened up my personalized video, I can tell you that Dr. Scratch and Sniff watched 14%. And then when I awakened this morning, I saw that he had watched 100% and forwarded that video to 2 colleagues. Imagine how much more effective you and your sales team will be when you analyze the metrics and make changes based on, are you being heard? Are you earning attention? All right. Put in the chat section if this is helpful for you. And I just re-enabled the chat section. I'm a total idiot. I wasn't able to figure that out earlier. Chat section's open. All right, here we go. Empathy trumps intellect. What do you think I mean by this one? I'll give you a second in the chat section. Yay, Doug. Hey, Doug, do me a favor. Show off a bit. And Scott, solid. Doug, show off a little bit. You're a Cornell graduate. I happen to know that. Why is it that at Virtual Sales RX, we teach people how to tap into empathy versus intellect? So put that in the chat section. I'll come back to that in just a minute because, Doug, I want you to show off in the chat section. All right, here we go. The next on the top 20 list is in-video graphics and visual aids. Are you ready for this? This is going to overwhelm you. Some of you are going to be like, ooh, here we go. Watch this. Dun, 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 dun. The use of in-video props. I mean, how cool is that? Hey, I got another one for you. Ready for this one? And I'm telling you, at first I thought, this is cheesy. This is not going to work. And knowing what I know now, it's all, can you imagine sending this as a thumbnail sketch? Oh, wait, that's bougie. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of fancy there. Can you imagine? You're going to get a curiosity click on that. So I hold this up temporarily, I press record, and then I go, hey, Chris, now that I have your attention, and then I go straight into my talking logo, I go straight into pain relief, problem solving, interest-based call to action. We teach all of that in the Virtual Sales RX. You thought we taught people how to create personalized videos. No. We teach people how to earn attention, and how to do that. The vehicle just happens to be personalized video so that it punches people in the amygdala, and it's a memory-making device. All right, I'm going to go ahead and answer the empathy versus intellect on here. High-tech sales, expensive ticket sales. What we learned is that people do not make high-ticket sales, high-tech sales intellectually. Isn't that crazy? Hey, I come from MedTech. There we go, Doug. Good. Doug says our ability to demonstrate our empathy on the customer's buyer journey is enhanced through our faces. Maybe through your face, Doug. Through my face, I try to cover it up. So yes, I agree with you that it is a matter of facial expression. What I would also submit, and I think you're spot on, Doug, what I would also submit is that the higher the price, the higher the technology, you will learn that people do not purchase that intellectually. Rather, they purchase it intrinsically and extrinsically related to empathy. Bigger the pain point. It's a pain in the butt. It cost me this in time and money. Empathy is how people make high-ticket purchasing decisions, and then they rationalize that decision intellectually after the purchase has been made. Understand that psychology, and you're going to make some more money. All right, my next tip is making it easier to buy. Personalized video and the Virtual Sales RX approach makes it easier for our ideal clients to purchase. This is huge. I promise you, there is not a customer waiting with bated breath for you to drop off brochures to Gloria the Gatekeeper. I'm a MedTech guy. I promise you, there is not a surgeon in America who's saying, I hope I get stalked by a medical sales consultant at the scrub sink. And so what we've learned to do at Virtual Sales RX is we've learned, number one, module one of the Virtual Sales RX, how do busy people prefer to engage and make purchasing decisions. Module 2 is called Content Rules. Play on words, I know. It's based on the premise of what you and I say and what busy customers or prospects hear. It's not always the same. So what we teach is we've made it easier than ever for ideal customers to purchase, and personalized videos is the way to go for that. All right, we are closing down on our list. My next one, the last one on this slide, is you and I have the opportunity to become curators. You see, one of the stumbling blocks for people when they decide to use personalized video is, what do I talk about? And what we've learned is that personalized videos are awesome. Statistically speaking, we know it increases engagement. We know that it grows sales. But, all right, get ready for this. But if you take this phone, for effect here, but let me tell you what does not work. If you take this camera app on your phone and you press record and you say the same lame stuff that you said before, this personalized video thing will not work. It just won't work. It's because what we say and how we communicate, in our case, personalized videos, because we know that it develops know, like, and trust because they can see our face. We're not like all up in their grill. So if you say the same lame stuff like, let me tell you what's lame. And just right now, if you're on here, just hold up your hand. I'm telling you, you have committed this sin as I have. Hey, Stan, I'd love the opportunity to schedule some lunch with you. I know you're busy. I'd like to, give you an update. Stan blows you off because it reeks from your pores that you are a salesperson. Okay? And yeah, Scott, good, good, good. Scott, thank you for raising your hand. Thank you. Scott, you realize that if you do this without context, yeah, it's not working. So good on you. So, what we learned in this process of personalized videos is you can become a curator. Now, a curator simply means that you take vital information and you just summarize it. You provide context every day. There is not a day that goes by that I'm not looking for interesting articles, comments that my prospects have made. There is not a day that goes by where I'm not curating insightful, customer centric information, creating a screen share where it's Bobblehead Matthew right next to the article or post of interest and saying, hey, so and so, I thought you might find this article interesting since you're an orthopedic surgeon in the ASC and your reimbursements are down 42%. I took the liberty of making you this personalized video and summarizing the top 2 key points that, according to this article, can help you claim that missing reimbursement. Why would that doctor not click on me doing that and adding value? That's the power of curation. All right, here we go. Now we're in our final 5 list. You ready for it? Drum roll, please. You and I are trusted guides. I mentioned earlier, the mistake that most people make is they try to make themselves the hero. You're never the hero. You're always the trusted guide. Your prospect is always the hero in the journey. And your responsibility in a 1-minute, 2-minute personalized video is to earn know, like, and trust. We know, statistically speaking, and this is why it is absolutely insane to me, why somebody would not at least be interested in personalized videos from the scalability standpoint and from the trust. Again, there is not a client in America who's hoping that you knock on their door and say, hey, I know you're busy. I'll bring in Jimmy John's for lunch. What we realized is that people love to purchase. It's just a pain in the butt for them to schedule appointments with you and I. So when you and I are a trusted guide, we can send videos at any time from anywhere that will be received in a modern day way. All right, newsjacking. Newsjacking is a great, great strategy that I use. I essentially take Google Alerts. It's free. I type in topics or the name of interesting prospects, and when I wake up in the morning, if there is any mention of a trending topic or any mention of my prospects, it comes to my email inbox. Now, here's what I do. For example, there is on TikTok a viral video on how doctors are getting sued and how this lawyer is sharing, hey, doctor, people like me are suing you for not answering these following questions. So what do? I go onto TikTok, I go Bobblehead Matthew, I screen record, and I send it to every one of my doctor prospects. Let me just explain something to you. Here's what's different. When you and I buy into personalized videos, we must buy into the fact that we're a trusted guide. And if you believe me that there's power in being a trusted guide, then you give away so much value that if that other person on the receiving end of the video is indifferent about opening up that video, it's not your burden to carry. That's what I feel. And truth be told, when I was a medical sales consultant, I didn't feel the same way that I do now. I felt like my whole goal was get them to schedule an appointment with me and then just become technically proficient and give them all my best, monosyllabic technical words. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. The next tip is you must be mobile optimized. At Virtual Sales RX, we teach you how to frame your communications in skinny sentences so you're mobile optimized. Of those 25,000 plus videos that I've sent, when I look at the data metrics, almost 70% of those videos were viewed with this phone. So you and I must learn how to communicate, provide written text that provides enough context as to why somebody would trust us enough to press play. It must be mobile optimized. Next, and we're closing down here, is the concept of onboarding videos. If your technology or what you sell demands people to understand your step-by-step process, then you're crazy for not recording that on personalized onboarding videos and sharing your step-by-step process so that you can send it at any time from anywhere and they can view it. My last top 20 list is when you come on board at Virtual Sales RX, when you learn our approach, you become virtual and time shifted. You are seemingly everywhere, even if you recorded a video 1 month ago that it's evergreen. And so, isn't that better than running out of daylight hours, running out of windshield? All right. I promised you that if you stayed with me, that I would introduce a scholarship grant. Here you go. If you have been on the fence post about joining Virtual Sales RX, but you've got a heart for a sales buddy who's struggling, or maybe your boss has not been open-minded about personalized videos, here is what this scholarship grant will do. It's a $1,394 savings value. One of you, I suggest it's you so that you can quote unquote grant your buddy or grant your boss this super generous scholarship grant on your behalf. You will pay for the Virtual Sales RX on-demand course. It's more than 7 hours of us coaching you. It's a complete coaching guide curriculum, complete with scripts, video swipe files, our content cookbook, everything that we teach in our more expensive courses, you will have virtual and on-demand access when you sign up. But there's a bonus. You may or may not know this, but we brought on amazing agency coaches that, just like you, learned how to use personalized video, increase engagement, and grow sales. I mean, we've got 21 now. So here's a bonus. I, Matthew Ray Scott, will personally coach you. You will go through the on-demand course, and then I will give you everything I have we're going to schedule follow-up calls. In fact, I'll make you a guarantee if you sign up. I will make sure that your first 3 videos are stellar, that are on point. You don't have to do this alone. But the deadline is 22 July. I'm going to say it again. The deadline is 22 July. We're going to have tons of people that sign up for this because they want the opportunity to turn to their boss or to turn to someone they care about and go, hey, this scholarship that I purchased for you, it's on me. And so we wanted to share with you the scholarship grant. Again, 22 July, right around the corner. That's the suspense date. So 5 minutes over time. I normally, pride myself on right at the button, but I felt like those of you who are with me learning about the Virtual Sales RX Scholarship Grant is worthy of going 5 minutes. So I respect your time. I respect what you're doing. If you took time out of your busy schedule to watch me or watch me on the replay, I salute you. I know it's not easy. You have two choices, and I'm going to take one of them off the table. Choice number one, you keep doing what you're doing traditionally, and you will keep getting what you get. Or you can pivot and you can learn how to send personalized videos through the Virtual Sales RX course. It aligns perfectly with how busy modern day people prefer to engage with you, and it'll decrease the time that it takes for you to differentiate, build trust, and ultimately close more deals. That's what I've learned for the past 4 years. So what I shared with you today, my top 20 list of how 4 years later, I'm averaging a 75% attention rate. I hope you have a good day. I hope to be coaching a few of you. And do me a favor, when you sign up, just ping me on LinkedIn DM saying, hey, MRS, I signed up and I'm going through the course. And here's a little bit of insight about who I'm granting my Virtual Sales RX scholarship to. All righty. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.